come and clean the kitchen with me and let's have a story time as a stay-at-home mom of two toddlers under two in my non-aesthetic kitchen. So I've shared before that prior to becoming a mother, I was a full-time artist. I've always been drawing all my life since I can remember, and art runs in my family with my sister and my brother who passed away. At a young age, I was accepted into art schools and magnet programs for art, where I was taught the history of art and how to fine-tune my art skills. The crazy part is I was taught how to do it the way that everybody else says to do it. And over time, that became a perfectionist voice in my head. I couldn't release art until I thought it was absolutely perfect. And not in a sense where you were just trying to make sure you push out art that was excellent. No, it was actually perfectionism that was destroying my love for art. Nothing was ever good enough. I still did art, but I was such a tough critic on myself up until I stopped after having my kids. This was dinner, y'all. Pork chops and string beans and mashed potatoes. It was so good. After having kids, I thought my art career was over. But the more and more I dive deep into being a mother, I'm realizing this is just a season. But it's so crazy how seasons can refine us, sharpen us, and break things that are having a hold on us. Having two toddlers under two in the beginning was so chaotic. My house used to be so organized, almost staged even. Everything had a place and nothing was ever out of place. But let me tell you how God used this motherhood season to shape how I see art. Even though I'm not doing art, I feel like in this season, God is pouring into me, removing things from me. So when it is time for me to go back to art, there will be a freedom that I will paint from. Understanding that I'm a tool for God to use. That feeling ready or feeling that things have to be perfect are just feelings. They're not truth. My house is messy and I still play with my kids. Sometimes their hair is not perfect, their clothes aren't perfect, their room isn't perfect, but I can still give God glory in the midst of the chaos. Nothing has to be perfect in order to give God your best. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not an excuse to be a messy person and to live in filth. That is not what I'm saying. My kids know we have a very strict routine. Once it's time to go upstairs, they start singing cleanup and putting their toys away. But what I am saying is that in the midst of the mess, in the midst of the chaos, God is still speaking. God is still moving and he's still showing himself. I think about the disciples on the boat when Jesus began to walk on water. It was literally in the midst of a storm. God was still revealing himself in a deeper, new, and fresh way. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's even in the storm, even when you're afraid, because them disciples were scared, okay? God was still trying to reveal himself to them. When this season is over, I'm so excited to take what I've learned with me here back into my art because God has revealed himself. Hope this helps. Okay, bye.